Evan gripped the alien's slim wrist and hauled her over the ravine lip. Rocks skittered under his boots. Her blood-slick feathers smeared his gloves. He dropped beside her as thunder cracked overhead. She twitched. Child-sized, maybe 12 in human years. Blue skin mottled purple at the edges. A gash split her side through the iridescent suit. Arterial spray slowed to a seep. Evan yanked his medkit open. "Hang on, kid. No time for scans." He sliced the suit fabric with his multi-tool. The wound yawned, 3 inches, ragged, pulsing. She clicked sharp and fast. Her clawed hand batted at him. 4 fingers, webbed, eyes like polished obsidian, locked on his face. "Easy." He pinned her arm with his knee, sprayed antiseptic foam. It hissed white against blue flesh. She hissed back, body arching. "Field glue next." He squeezed the tube. Clear polymer oozed into the gash. Pressed edges together. Her clicks turned staccato. Pained. Stapler clicked 13 times. Metal tines bit skin. Wound sealed. He wrapped it in biogel bandage. Pulse steady at 110. She went limp. Stared. One hand rose, palm out, fingers splayed in a fan. Evan tapped his wrist com. Mira got visual. Injured Xeno female juvenile. Record this. He aimed his helmet cam. She clicked again. 3 short bursts, then a trill. Her free hand circled her ear, then pointed at him. "Copy, Evan. Uploading audio now. Doctor." Mira Patel's voice crackled calm from orbit relay. "Gestures first. Palm fan might mean stop or yield. Air circle, self-reference. You're me to her." He nodded, though she couldn't see. "Makes sense. She's not fighting now." Lyra. She'd do for a name. Touched her chest, then his. Click trill. Repeated. Chest touch. Identity marker. "She's linking you two. Send more samples." Evan mirrored her. Chest tap. His. Hers. She clicked affirmative. A rising tone. Grabbed his glove. Pressed it to her bandage. Nodded once. Progress. He scanned vitals. Oxygen set 92%. Dropping. Atmosphere thinning. Pre-storm. Setting beacon for evac. He punched coordinates into the deployable spike. Orange light pulsed. Buried it under scree. She tugged his sleeve. Eyes darted to the tree line. Clicked urgent. Double trill. Hand slashing horizontal. "Danger signal?" Mira broke in. Audio match. 87% predator warning in prelim database. Hide. Evan scanned the ridge. Shadows lengthened. Wind whipped dust. Affirm. He dragged the thermal tarp from his pack. Silvered fabric unfurled. Pulled her under with him. Clung close for shared body heat. Her feathers rasped his neck. Warm, downy. She nestled in, click softening to purrs. Trust, or hypothermia. Com buzzed. "Evan, tribe signatures inbound. 5 heat sources. Armed. Language parse at 23%. Avoid direct eye contact. Deference ritual." Too late. Bushes rustled. 3 figures crested the ridge. Taller than Lyra. Feathered crests erect. Spears. Glinted. Central 1. Older female. Scars crisscrossing arms. Matriarch by the torque necklace. They fanned out. Hunt captain. Male. Lean. Quivers slung. Sniffed the air. Locked on the beacon glow. Evan tensed. Lyra whimpered. clutched his arm. Matriarch barked. Guttural syllables. Hands slashing like Lyra's warning. Spear tip leveled at the top. "They're on us," Evan whispered to Com. "Mira, talk fast. Repeat her gestures. Palm out, no stare. Chest link means protector claim. Big cultural weight." Hunt captain yanked the tarp. Spears poised. Lyra bolted upright, shielding Evan. Clicks exploded, fierce protective trill. Matriarch froze. Eyes narrowed on the bandage. On Evan's staples. Evan rose slow, palms fan spread. No eye contact. Touched chest hers. His. Pointed to wound. Saved. Silence stretched. Hunt captain circled. Nostrils flaring. Tested the air near Evan's suit. Grunted approval. Drew blade sniffed it clean of her blood. Matriarch stepped forward, grasped Lyra's chin. Inspected wound. Staples gleamed. She clicked query at Lyra. Lyra tapped Evan's chest. Fierce nod. Clung to his leg. Matriarch's crest flattened. She gripped Evan's wrist. Hard. Pulled him toward the trees. Hunt captain flanked. Spear ready. "Mira, status." Protector bond acknowledged, but ritual test incoming. Don't resist physical contact. Rejection, insult. They marched him down slope. Lyra skipped beside Feathers, brushing his hand. Village emerged. Dome huts woven from glow vines. Fires flickered. Central fire pit. Matriarch shoved Evan down. Cross-legged circle formed. 10 warriors. She knelt opposite. Drew a claw across her palm. Blood welled. "Evan's turn." He offered his hand. She sliced shallow. Sting burned. Pressed palms together. Blood mingled. Lyra clicked, excited. "Hunt captain." "Kesh." Mira named him. Nodded once. "Respect," in the tilt of his head. "Blood oath," Mira murmured. "You're in." A custody dispute brewing. Lyra's unclaimed scout status. Prove ongoing protection. Matriarch released him. Pointed at Lyra's bandage. Gestured. "Mend again?" Evan. Unpacked. Medkit. Resprayed gel. She watched every move. Warriors leaned in. Clicks of awe rippled. Kesh tapped his spear, pointed horizon. Storm clouds boiled. "Predators come," Mira translated loose. "Hunt with us?" Evan stood. Gripped his pulse rifle. "Show me." They moved as one. Lyra at his side. Tiny knife drawn. Kesh. Scouted flank. Silent. Approval. Shadows stirred in the underbrush. Claws scraped. 6 beasts. Hulking, spike-furred. Roared challenge. Evan fired suppressed bursts. Dropped lead. Alpha. Kesh's spear plunged true into the next. Matriarch's blade flashed, severing a limb. Lyra darted, slashed a hamstring. Beast howled. Evan covered her. Stapled a gash on Kesh mid-fight. Quick patch. Hunt captain blinked. Fought harder. Back broken. Last beast fled. Back at fire. Matriarch clasped Evan's shoulder. Crest high. Lyra curled against him, purring. Kesh sharpened spears nearby. "You mend in battle. No fear." Evan shrugged. Routine. Mira chuckled on calm. "Alliance holding. But Sael, Matriarch, tests deepen tomorrow. Custody ritual. Share hunt scar." Evan eyed his palm cut. Nodded to Sael. She mirrored, content. Thunder rolled closer. Lyra's hand found his. Squeezed. Trust sealed. for now. But Keisha's gaze lingered on the human rifle, weighing betrayal odds. Storm broke as warriors chanted. Evan sheltered Lyra. Fragile bond against the gale. Evan shoved the canteen spout past Lyra's resisting teeth. She sputtered, clawed at his wrist. Her four-fingered hand scraped skin, but weak from dehydration. Drink, Evan said. Firm. He pinched her jaw open, tilted her head back. Liquid trickled in. She choked, coughed, purple-tinged saliva, but swallowed. Mira's voice crackled on his wrist calm. Refusal gesture means debt taboo. You're forcing obligation. Evan ignored it. Rationed half-cup more. Watched her throat work. Survival first. Debts later. Lyra's golden eyes widened. Pupils slid vertical. She shoved him off. Wiped mouth with trembling sleeve. Crest feathers flattened. Submission. Fear, he capped the canteen. Checked his pack. 2 liters left. Storm denied refills. Her people overdue. She curled fetal on the rocky overhang. Gestured at shadows below. Pointed west. Insistent. Scouts come that way. Mira translated from audio scraps. She's warning you off her path. Evan scanned horizon. No movement. Not leaving you. Night fell fast. Jungle hummed. He portioned protein bars. Offered half. Lyra waved it away. Sharp cross sign across palm. Taboo again. Sacred fast, Mira guessed. Injured don't eat till kin arrive. Evan split his bar, chewed slow. Starve later. She watched him eat. Nose slits flared at scent. Stomach growled audible. He broke off a piece. Held it out. Palm up. Lyra hesitated, snatched it. Scarfed in 2 bites. Eyes darted guilty. Progress. Dawn broke humid. Evan scouted water sources. Found seep trickles. Filled canteen slow. Lyra shadowed him. Limped on bandaged ankle. Gestures softer now. Touched his arm. Thanks. Back at camp, he dug pit. Packed green fronds tight. Doused with rationed fuel. Smoke signal, he told calm. High plume. Rescue drone protocol. Lit it. Flames caught. Thick white smoke billowed up. Pierced canopy. Lyra froze. Crest spiked rigid. She lunged. Beat at the fire with bare hands. Hissed sharp. Evan grabbed her wrists. Pulled her back. Stop. Burns. Smoke rose steady. Visible kilometers out. She thrashed. Claws raked his forearm. Drew blood. Pointed at Plume. Slashed no signs frantic. Body language screamed betrayal. Smoke calls spirits. Mira decoded rushed. Death smoke. Summons ghosts to claim the weak. Evan held firm. Better ghosts than dehydration. Lyra sagged, whimpered low. Buried face in his chest. Trembled. He stroked her crest feathers. Soothed like a spooked horse. Trust me. Plume curled lazy. Jungle swallowed sound. Hours dragged. Lyra paced. Eyed the fire. Gestures pleaded. Extinguish. Evan added. Damp leaves. Smoke thickened. They'll see. Sun peaked. Heat baked. His shirt stuck sweat slick. Lyra sipped offered water. No fight this time. Dust cooled. Evan banked fire low. Pulled thermal blanket over both. Shared body heat. She nestled close. Per rumbled faint. Hand gripped his shirt. Sleep tugged him. Rustle snapped him awake. Eyes adjusted. Dark bulked shapes in brush. Low growls. Lyra bolted upright. Knife drawn. Tiny blade. Ornamental. Evan snatched flare gun. Loaded magnesium round. Something charged. Massive. Spike-furred shoulders rolled. Fangs gleamed, saliva slick. 100 kilos. Minimum. Straight at them, Lyra screamed pitch high. Dove behind him. Evan rolled to knees. Aimed center mass. Fired. Flare erupted. White-hot streak punched hide. Beast ignited. Screamed. Agony. Fur blazed. Thrashed wild. Momentum carried it past. Crashed rocks. Convulsed. Stank of burnt meat. Silence crashed back. Evan approached cautious. Prodded corpse with boot. Dead. Lyra peeked out. Stared at charred hulk. Then him. Crest flared wide. He holstered flare gun. Routine pest control. Mira whistled on comm. That's a razorback. A kind lose warriors to those you dropped it solo. Like god touch. Lyra circled body. Sniffed cautious. Made sharp claw sign across throat. Tapered gesture. Evan dragged carcass to firelight. Skinned quick with multi-tool. Efficient cuts. Heart still pumped faint. Offered haunch. Eat. Protein. She recoiled. Sign slashed. No. Backed away. Predator flesh. Unclean. Mira fed real time. Hunt taboo. Eat soul. Evan shrugged. Skewered meat over coals. Sizzled juice. Hunger won for her. She edged closer. Watched drip fat. It carved strip blue cool. Held out. Lyra snatched. Tore in juice smeared chin. Purr started deep. They ate in fireglow. Her against his side. Trust flickered. Night deepened. More rustles distant. Packmates. Evan cleaned blade. Loaded flare gun fresh. Lyra slept head on his thigh. Knife clutched loose. Con buzzed soft. Drone, inbound your signal. ETA dawn. But her gestures, bonding signs. You're claimed. Now. Evan nodded to stars. Practical. Pick up first. Russell grew. Multiple. He tensed. Dawn-grayed sky. Evan stirred embers. Smoke wisped faint. Lyra stirred. Pointed east. Crest perked. Figures emerged. Tree lines scaled. Hides shimmered. Spears tipped bone sharp. Warriors, 10 strong, led by broad-shouldered male Scar's lattice chest. Lyra bolted up, gestured wild, pointed Evan, touched bone crest. Warriors halted, spears leveled. Male stepped forward. Cache, crest, dominant, eyed, flare gun. Then, Parker's. Evan stood slow, hands visible. Friends. Lyra darted between, clung his leg. Purr, insistent. Cache clicked tongue. Low rumble, gestured query at burnt beast. His kill. Mira translated scraps. Alone. Saved her. Warriors murmured. Clicks awe. Cache circled Evan. Sniffed arm wound from her claws. Nodded approval, competence. But spear stayed ready. Female elder pushed through. Matriarch sail. Crest-crowned jewel shell. Eyes hard. She grasped Lyra's arm. Pulled free. Inspected bandages. Heaven work. Lyra resisted. Gestured back at him. Sharp claims. Sael's gaze locked Evan's. Drew blade. Slashed own palm. Blood-welled, extended hand, demand. Mira urgent custody ritual. Blood share or fight. Evan drew knife. Matched slash. Palm stung. Pressed to hers. Blood mingled, warm pulse. Sael crested high, pulled him into circle. Warriors chanted low. Keish tapped, spear, pointed west. Clouds boiled. Storm, Mira said. Predators follow. Evan gripped pulse rifle. Backup. From pack. Hunt? Kesh nodded. Silent respect. They moved. But as thunder growled, Lyra slipped hand into Evan's. Squeezed. Kesh's eyes lingered on rifle. Calculated. Fragile. Storm hit. Rain lashed. Evan yanked Lyra under overhang. Shielded her. Warriors hunkered nearby. Chants muffled. Bond held. Barely. Growls echoed rain. Closer. Evan chambered round. Waited. Lyra purred against him. Trusted. Case sharpened spear. Watched human. Sal clasped Evan's fresh-scarred shoulder. Nodded alliance sparked. But night beasts circled. Gale howled challenge. Evans sighted dark fingers steady. Routine. For now. Predator eyes glowed. Charged. Through pore. He fired. The predator's bulk slammed into the mud 3 paces short, its glowing eyes dimming as the pulse rifle's round tore through its skull. Evan chambered another. Rain hammered his shoulders. Lyra pressed closer under the overhang, her purr vibrating against his arm. He scanned the dark. Growls answered from the gale. More coming. Quiche crouched nearby, spear glinting wet. She thrust it into a second beast's flank as it lunged. The creature yelped, twisted away. Sael barked a chant. Warriors hurled javelins into the paw. One struck true, pinning a shadow to the ground. Thunder drowned the rest. Evan sighted left, fired. The shot lit the storm, dropping a third predator mid-leap. Keish nodded sharp, eyes on his rifle. She wiped blood from her spear. No words, just respect. Lyra tugged his sleeve, pointed east, where lightning cracked open the sky. The warriors rose as one. Sael clasped Evan's scarred palm, squeezed once. They moved. Dawn clawed through the clouds. Hours later, Evan crested the ridge first, pulse rifle slung low. His camp lay below, a cluster of synth tents amid razor grass, Lyra's form huddled by the fire pit. She'd slept fitful after the storm, bandages fresh on her claw rakes and fever cuts. His doing, routine patch job. Movement caught his eye. Shadows ringed the camp. Alien women. 10, maybe 12. Crested scalps jeweled with shells. Spears low, but ready. They closed silent boots, silent on dew-wet grass. Evan's hand dropped to his belt knife. No. He unclipped it. Stepped down the slope unarmed, heart steady. These were Lyra's people. He hoped. He hit the camp edge, knelt, placed the knife flat on the ground, palms up. Easy, he murmured to his comm. They're here for her. Dr. Mira Patel's voice crackled calm. Gestures read peaceful approach, but tight formation. Defensive, stay low. The circle tightened. Lyra stirred inside the tent, whimpered. A tall figure pushed forward, elder, crest high with iridescent shell. Matriarch Sael, Mira had guessed from scout bids. Eyes like chipped flint locked on Evan. She snatched Lyra's arm as the girl stumbled out, yanked her free. Lyra resisted, gestured back at Evan, clawed hand to chest, then opened palm toward him. Sharp claims. Sael ignored her, inspected the bandages, prodded the medgel seals. Her gaze snapped to Evan. She signaled. 2 fingers slashed across throat, pointed at him like he'd stolen meat from her fire. Claimed, Mira hissed. She's marking you as thief. Custody dispute incoming. Evan blocked the exit path. 1 step forward, hands empty. Pointed to Lyra's bandage. Tapped his medkit on the ground. Proof. I fixed her. Not taking. Warriors tensed. Spears lifted half. Keish emerged from the ring. Hunt captain. Lean and scarred. She circled Evan slow. Sniffed his arm, where Lyra's claws had grazed him days back. Nodded approval at his field wrap. But her spear stayed ready. Tip inches from his ribs. Sahel drew her blade. Short, serrated. Slashed her own palm deep. Blood well dark green. Extended the hand. Demand. Mira Ujend. Custody ritual. Blood share seals protection claim, or it's fight. Your call knife's on ground. Evans scooped his knife. Matched the slash across his palm. Sting bit clean. He pressed skin to hers. Blood mingled. Warm pulse sinking like a bad handshake. Sael's crest flared high. She pulled him into the circle. Warriors chanted low rhythmic throbs. Keish tapped her spear butt, pointed west. Clouds boiled black on the horizon. Storm, Mira confirmed. Big. 1. Their audio scraps say predators trailed it. Pack hunters. Evan gripped his pulse rifle, back up from the pack, chambered and slung. Hunt? Keish nodded. Silent respect edged her stance. She led west at a jog, warriors fanning out. Lyra slipped her hand into Evan's as thunder growled, squeezed tight. Keisha's eyes lingered on the rifle. Calculated odds, fragile. The storm hit mid-crossing. Rain lashed horizontal, turning razor grass to whips. Evan yanked Lyra under a rock overhang, shielded her with his body. She purred low, trusted now. Warriors hunkered nearby, chants muffled by gale. Growls echoed through the rain. Closer, Evan chambered around, waited. Routine. Predator eyes glowed yellow. Charged through the pore, he fired. But that was hours back. Now as the group picked through storm-wrecked gullies. Sail halted, sniffed air, pointed north. Smoke trail faint against the rising sun. Camp? Evan asked Mira. Possible. Or trap. Their gestures say, scout. Ahead. Kesh vanished into the scrub. Returned minutes later, spear bloodied. Held up a severed claw predator trophy. Nodded south. Clear path. They pushed on. Lyra released Evan's hand, only to gesture at a twisted root. Peeled it, offered pulp. Sweet tang hit his tongue. Energy boost. Her eyes held his. Longer than needed. Sael watched. Crest low. Testing. Evan bandaged a warrior's gash mid-march, jagged from thorns. Quick sutures. Gel seal. The woman flexed her arm, chanted approval. Passed him dried meat strips. Tough, spiced, payment. Keisha fell in beside him. Tapped the pulse rifle. Nimmed recoil. Raised brows. Endurance round, Evan said. Holds charge for weeks. She hefted her spear, twirled it blur fast. Pointed to serrated bobs, poison tips, grinned teeth. Her skill, his tech, balance. Mira chuckled soft on comms. She's impressed. Hunt brother gesture. Alliance holding. Dusk bled red over the plains. Sail called halt at the shell crater camp. Warriors raised hides against wind. Fire sparked from flint strikes. Evan checked Lyra's bandages, freshened them. She leaned into his touch. Purr deepened. Sahel approached, drew blade again. Evan tensed, but she sliced meat from a kill. Offered the best cut tender loin. Blood right, echo. He took it, ate slow, nodded thanks. Keish sharpened her spear nearby. Watched the horizon. Growls rumble distant. More predators. Lyra curled by the fire. Gestured Evan close. He sat. Her head dropped to his shoulder. Trusted. Sael's eyes narrowed. But she clasped his scarred shoulder. Nodded once. Alliance sparked. Night deepened. Evan stood watch, rifle ready. Cash joined him. Shared silence. Spears and pulses. Partners. A scout whistled alarm. Shadows moved in the dark. Flankers circling wide. Evan sighted. Steady breath. Keish gripped spear. Grinned. They waited. Dawn broke 2 days later on Evan's makeshift camp. The one where it started. No. Flashback snapped. No. Focus. He shook it off. That ring at first light haunted still. But now, leagues deeper in alien turf, trust glued the group. Lyra scouted ahead with 2 warriors. Returned breathless. Gestured wild cliffs, water source. Safe. Sahel approved. Led the descent. Evan slipped on scree. Cuttle edge. Pulled up smooth. Routine. Keish snorted approval. Tossed him a claw necklace. Trophy. He strung it on. Wore it plain. Mira pinged. Their chants shifted. You're shield kin now. Custody settled. But test coming. Hunt right. Clouds gathered west again. Thunder muttered. Evan checked rifle charge. Full Lyra took his hand. Pulled him. Lyra pulled him toward the tribe's central fire pit. Her fingers gripped tight. Urgent. Evan matched her pace over the rocky ledge. The alien clan ringed the flames. 24 scouts and hunters, spears planted, eyes locked on him. Sael stepped forward. She thrust a clawed hand at Lyra's bandaged side. Hissed sharp words. No translation yet. Mira's comms crackled silent in Evan's earpiece. Lyra flinched. Dropped his hand. Exposed the wound. Evan read the demand. They wanted proof. Now, on their own. He knelt without protest. Unslung his medkit. Mira, audio feed. Break it down fast. Recording. Mira replied. Voice steady. Sael saying prove healer's claim. On, child. Before all, gestures mean binding oath follows success. Evan nodded to himself. Pulled sterile pads and antiseptic. Tribe leaned in, silent, breath hot on his neck. Lyra lay back on a flat stone. Lifted her tunic edge, stitches held. His work from 2 days back, after the scree fall. No infection. Good. Sail balked again, pointed at the pot over the fire. Boiling water bubbled. Got it. Evan dipped tools in. Steam rose. He showed each step. Clamp sterilized. Gauze boiled clean. Hands scrubbed with alcohol wipe. Tribe murmured. Claws twitched. Keish circled close. Spear tip hovered inches from his kit. Tested. Evan ignored it. Pressed fresh pad to Lyra's wound. Peeled old bandage slow. Skin pink sealed tight. No pus. He threaded needle. Demo suture reinforced, just one stitch for show. Needle pierced clean. Lyra hissed, but held still, not tied. Taped secure. He sat back, hands open, empty. Sale crouched, sniffed the site, prodded with a claw. Lyra sat up, gestured approval, palm flat, waved over wound. Tribe erupted. Low chants, fists, thumped chests. Mirror pinged. Shield, heal proven. Kindet binds. You're in, Evan, but ritual next. Sale rose, uncoiled a woven cord from her belt. Thick fibers, dyed red. Offered it to Evan's wrist. Eyes hard, expectant. Evan stared. Wrist binding. Possession mark? Mira whispered. Their custom, custodians link flesh to claim. Refuse wrong, fight starts. He shook his head, took the cord gentle. Tribe hushed. Instead, he looped it around his medkit strap, tied firm knot. Held it out to Sale. This binds. Tools save, not me. Sahel tilted head, claws flexed. Keish growled low. Lyra touched the cord, nodded quick, gestured between kit and wound healer's tool claims the heel. Sal snatched it back, inspected not. Then lashed it to her own spear haft. Thumped butt into ground. Grunted once. Approved. Chant swelled. Fire popped. Kay shouldered through. Locked eyes with Evan. Sniffed air deliberate. Pointed north. Faint trail in dust. Warrior scent. Then vanished into brush. Challenge. Clear. Track it. Prove more. Evan stood. Slung rifle loose. Mirror. Confirm. Standard test. Hunt Captain Pick's trail. Outsider follows or fails. Scent-based. Theirs is acute. Tribe parted. Watched. Evan dropped to knee. No fancy gear. Scanned dirt. Crushed leaf. Bent grass stem. Faint musk sweat and hide oil. Human nose barely caught it. He marked first spot. Snapped twig. Laid crosswise. Visual anchor. Pushed into trot. Keish paralleled 20 paces off. Spear ready. Grinned fangs. Trail veered cliff edge. Evan paused. Sniffed wind shift. Doubled back 10 meters. Found overlooked print claw toe dig. Marked with pebble stack. Keish snorted. Picked up pace. Evan ignored. Focused rhythm. Observe, mark, advance. Improvised signs built. Chain twig arrows. Rock cairns. Notched bark. His markers. Multiplied. Trail looped ravine. Scent pooled. Minutes ticked. Cage crested rise first. Froze. Evan caught up. Below. Mock prey. Hide dummy. Dragged fresh. Scent bomb attached. Cage hurled spear. Pinned it clean. Evan sighted rifle held fire. Nodded to her. Kill she retrieved. Tore, stripped free. Tossed to him. Trophy too. Tribe greeted with roars as they returned. Lyra pressed close. Hand on his arm. Warm. Steady. Sal clasped both their shoulders. Pulled group tight. Chanted low. Mira translated scraps. Shieldkin proven. Hunt shared. Custody weaves. Evan exhaled. Alliance held. Fragile still. Dusk fell fast. Campfires dotted cliffs. Warriors hauled water gourds. Lyra scouted rim with her pair. Quick shadows. Evan checked stitches again. Private. She leaned into touch. Eyes soft. Case dropped beside him. Offered dried meat strip. Bit into her own. Chewed slow. He took it. Salty, gamey, tough. Nodded thanks. She tapped his claw necklace. Then her spear. New cord gleamed. Pointed at medkit. Grinned. Partners. Mira buzzed. Shan's locket. Your shield kin. But Zayil's testing deeper. Possession taboo means no flesh bind on you. Smart dodge. Storm's closing. Predators trail chance. Thunder growled west. Evan scanned dark rifle. Charge full. Slung medkit secure. Cord taut. Lyra returned. Gestured wild. Shadows circle camp. Multiple. Sahel rose. Spear high. Tribe formed ring. Keish gripped Evan's shoulder. Pulled him into line. Evan raised rifle. Sighted first flicker in brush. Growls answered. Close. A shape lunged from left flank. Massive furred bulk. Jaws wide. Keish met it mid-leap. Spear plunged deep. Evan fired right. Pulse bolt seared second beast. Dropped twitching. Tribe surged. Claws and chants. Third shadow vaulted fire. Straight at Lyra. Evan dove. Tackled her clear. Rolled. Rifle bucked up. Hit clean skull burst. Silence. Crashed. Lyra clung. Shaking. Sail loomed. Inspected kill. Then Evan. Clawed hand on his chest. Over heart. Pressed. Released. Deeper nod. Mira. That seals it. You're not custodian. You're pack. Rain hit sudden. Hard sheets. Tribe huddled caves. Evan patched Keish's gash minor claw rake. She watched technique. Mimicked boil water step on her own pot. Lyra curled against him. Head on shoulder again. Trusted full. Night watch rotated. Evan took first with Kesh. Spears and rifle. Silence shared. Dawn cracked cliffs gold. Scout whistled clear. Sail gathered cords. From spears, kits, wrists. Wove quick braid. Hung Evan's neck. Heavy. Permanent. He touched it. Felt weight. Lyra pulled him onward. Toward distant peaks. Home clans? Keish flanked. Spear synced his stride. Mira pinged final. Right past. But peak clans stricter. Custody war's old grudge. Your bond's target now. Evan checked. Charge. Full. Shadows stirred horizon. Not beasts. Riders. Armored. Spears. Red-dyed. Zyle hissed alarm. Tribe bristled. Incoming dispute. Armed. Riders crested the ridge. Hooves thundering dust. Red-dyed spears glinted. Sail balked a halt. Tribe fanned into defensive crescent. Spears low, claws flexed. Keish gripped her shaft tighter. Eyes locked on the lead rider. Evan shouldered his rifle, scanned for numbers. 12 armored mounts, scaled hides bulging under harness. Lyra pressed against his side, claws digging his arm. Not fear. Resolve. Sael stepped forward, raised one clawed palm. Universal parlay. Lead rider reined up 50 paces out. Massive female, scars crisscrossing her muzzle. Flanked by 2 with notched blades, she snarled words Evan half caught. Sharp hisses, rolling clicks. Sile countered, gestures slicing air. Debate heated. Kesh muttered to Evan low. Custodians. Claim Lyra. Old blood debt. Evan nodded, kept rifle steady. Mira's calm crackled. Audio feed live. Translating, they're enforcers from Peak clans. Say you stole their scout. Sail's countering with protection bond. Lyra tugged Evan's sleeve, pulled his hand open, pressed a carved token into his palm, smooth bone, etched spirals and claw marks. Her free hand formed the claimed sign. Claws curled over fist, pressed to chest. Again. Insistent. Eyes locked. His Evan frowned at the token. Thumbed his comm. Mira. Priority scan. Transmitting token markings now. He angled his wrist unit. Flashed the etchings under dawn light. Rider shifted, impatient. Lead one's mount, stamped. Mira's voice cut sharp. Uploading. Got it. Spirals mean binding vow. Claw overlay? That's claimed mate. Lyra just proposed marriage. Publicly. In front of her tribe. Evan's grip tightened on the token. Riders hissed laughter. Sael whirled, spotted the exchange. Her eyes narrowed. Not anger. Calculation. She strode back, snatched a resin pot from her belt, dipped claws. Protection right, she growled. Words Mira fed instant. Seal's claim. Hands first. Sael lunged, resin-dripping claws aimed at Evan's palms. Tribe chanted low, rhythmic. Keish blocked a rider's advance with spear cross. Tension coiled. Evan sidestepped, gentle but firm. Raised, open hands, no rifle. Wait! He pressed the token back into Lyra's claws, then tapped his comm, pulled a field kit marker. Mira, guide me. Pictograms. Trade pact, not right. Mira pinged fast. Affirm. Start with shared kills. Draw beast skull. Their side. Your rifle. Line to clasped hands. No spirals. Straight bond line. Evan knelt in dust. Drew, quick. Stylized fang beast skull from last night. Rifle bolt beside it. Claw mark for tribe. His boot print. Thick line linking all to two gripped spears. No loops. No claims. He held it up. Gestured Sael close. She paused. Mid-chant. Inspected the dirt sketch. Riders muttered. Lead one dismounted, stalked forward. Keish met her halfway. Spears parallel. Standoff. Sal traced Evan's drawing with claw tip. Nodded once. Deep. Grabbed Lyra's wrist. Forced token back into Evan's palm. Not proposal. Proof, she hissed to riders. Mira translated. He fights for pack. Kills with us. No steal. Bond proven. Lead rider snarled. Pointed at token. Mate. Mark. Custody forfeit. Evan stood. Held token high. No fear. Pressed it to his chest. Lyra's sign. Mirrored. Then tapped the pictogram. Pulled a spare med strip from kit. Offered it. White. Sterile. Universal heal. Drew line in air from strip to her scarred arm. She blinked, took it, pressed to a fresh gash. Watched it foam seal. Tribe murmured approval. Keish lowered spear fraction. Sail moved. Not resin. She wove another cord, thinner, from rider's rejected harness. Tied token to Evan's braid necklace. Hung beside tribe's gift. Heavy now. Dual weight. Lead rider backed. Remounted. Packed holds. Till breach. Riders wheeled. Thundered off. Dust trailed. Tribe exhaled. Lyra sagged against Evan. Claws laced his fingers. Light. No claim. Trust. Cash clapped his shoulder, mimicked rifle sight with claws, grinned scar-lipped. Good hunt sign. Packed, strong. Evan checked perimeter. Clear. Radioed Mira. Translation saved it. What's next? Peak clans inbound. Stricter. Your pack's fresh. Test it. Scio gathered tribe. Pointed peaks. Onward. Lyra pulled Evan into march. Her stride matched his. Kesh flanked. Spear synced. Shadows stirred again. Mop riders. Flankers. Evan raised rifle. Scoped. Glint of scopes. Human tech? No. Alien lenses. Ambush scouts. Sahil hissed halt. Evan dropped a knee. Fired warning pulse. Scorched rock near lead shadow. Figure bolted. Tribe loosed spears. One struck true. Down. Keish retrieved shaft. Inspected tip. Red die. Same riders. Faint retreat. Test packed. Evan reloaded. They circled back. Sale nodded. Drew claw in dirt. Circle around peaks. Trap. He countered. Straight line through ravine. Rifle icon. Her eyes lit. She barked orders. Tribe shifted formation. Evans Point. They pushed ravine. Narrow. Echo walls. Lyra scouted ahead. Silent leaps. Returned. All clear sign. Halfway. Ambush hit. Boulders tumbled. Riders vaulted down. 6 now. Blades whirring. Keish impaled first. Evan dropped second. Pulse to knee. Non-lethal. Sail shredded Ferd's mount harness. Beast panicked. Bold 2 riders. Lyra dodged blade. Clawed rider's face. Evan covered. Rifle barked. Disarmed. 4th. Last 2 fled. Spears trailed. Tribe bound captives. Sawil interrogated. Clicks and hisses. Mira fed. Peak. Vanguard. What Lyra for blood right? Your packed blocks. Evan knelt by bound lead captive. Offered medstrip to her leg wound. She snarled. Took it anyway. Pressed on. Sale watched. Untied 1 cord from Evan's necklace. Pressed into captive's claws. Sin packed. Captive nodded. Released with strips and sketch copy. Evan scratched duplicate on hide. They limped off. Warning sent. March resumed. Faster. Peaks loomed. Lyra leaned into Evan at rest stop. Head on shoulder. No words. Claws traced his drawing idly. Keish boiled water beside him. Shared pot. You heal. We track. Good pack. Evan nodded. Felt braid weight. Not marriage. Alliance. Fragile. Mira pinged. Scans show main force. Thousands. Your pictogram's viral. Clans buzzing. But 1 slip. Horizon glowed. Clan fires. Massive. Sayel led charge up final slope. Evan checked charge. Full. Gates parted. Not attack. Welcome chant. Figures emerged. Elders. Armored. Central 1. Bigger than Saya. Matriarch Prime. She locked eyes on Evan. On Braid. Claws flexed. Right gesture incoming. Lyra tensed. Pressed token harder into his palm. Claimed sign. Again. Keish's claws dug into Evan's bicep. He yanked him from the welcome line, past armored elders flexing welcome grips. Strangers. Water cache. Now. Evan stumbled but matched stride. The massive matriarch Prime's gaze burned into his back. Lyra's token dug into his palm. He pocketed it. Clan fires crackled louder here. At the settlement's edge, peaks ringed the basin like teeth. Sael hissed ahead, directing women with spear twitches. Keish shoved Evan into the cache gorge, a narrow cut in rock, misted by a spring-fed pool. 20 females guarded it, claws on bows. Scouts crouched on ledges, hissing reports. Evan scanned. Shadows pooled wrong in the upper clefts. Bootprints? No. Claw scrapes? Inconsistent. Raiders flanked high, not charging. Classic pincer. He tapped his calm. Mira, audio scraps. Ambush pattern. Translate fast. Got it. Mira crackled. High rocks. Kill zone. Low pool. Bait. Keish growled, claws flexing for charge. Sael signaled bows up. No. Evan grabbed Lyra's arm. She'd slipped close, eyes wide, pointed staggered lines on the dirt. Women retreat. Waves, not bunch. Sael's spines flared. She clicked sharp, distrust hiss. Mira fed. Evan right. Lyra signed, claws mimicking his sketch. Head dipped to Sael. Token flashed on her neck. Evan's braid match. Sael paused. Claws eased. She balked orders. First wave of women backed from pool, spears low. Second held rim. Third Lyra's group staggered behind boulders. Raiders boiled from clefts. 30. Armored in bone plate, blades gleaming. Lead snarled, challenge chant. Evan primed his noisemaker, thumbed flare pack. Cover! He fired. Cock boom, shattered air. Raider vanguard clutched ears, staggered. Evan lobbed powder flares. White-hot bursts blinded the mass. Screams echoed. Sail's archers loosed from new angles. 5 raiders dropped, shafts in throats. Case charged flank, spear piercing a blinded foe. Good hunt. Evan reloaded. Spotted straggler, female raider, leg gashed deep, crawling for pool. Others ignored her, pressing tribe line. He sprinted low, grabbed her harness, dragged into cover boulder. She snarled, claws slashing air. Death take. Evan pinned her good leg, slapped med strip on gash. Hold still. Blood sealed fast under sealant. He pressed antibiotic pad. She bucked. Claws raked his forearm. Shallow. Hissed defiance. Easy. He held gauze firm. You're done fighting. Mira pinged. She's sane. Traitor heal. Raiders see mercy as weakness claim. Lyra dropped beside, claws ready, guarded his flank. Her shoulder brushed his. Warm, steady. Raiders broke. Tribe spears drove them back up clefts. Keish whooped, binding survivors. Sael stalked over, eyes on the raider Evan patched. Evan stood, offered hands open. Sender. Packed like before. Sael clicked slow, examined medstrip. Touched Evan's scratched arm. Hissed soft. Mira. Heal enemy. Why? Water stays ours. Evan sketched quick. Raiders fleeing. Token linking tribes. Raider female sat up. Tested leg. Nodded once to Sael. Clutched Evan's duplicate sketch. Hide scratched, packed. Sael untied cord from her own braid. Pressed into Evan's palm. Doubled the weight now. The lion's cord. Keish hauled the female up. Go. Tell Vanguard. Healer pack holds. She limped off, glanced back. Not hate. Respect flicker. Tribe women returned to cache. Dipped gourds. Spines relaxed. Lyra pressed close. Claws traced Evan's fresh scratches. Soft sign. Safe. Evan bandaged himself. Felt the cord's heft. Fragile still. Mira crackled. Scans spiking. Main raider force closing fast. Your pack's buying time, but they're massing thousands. Sal gripped Evan's shoulder. Hard, testing. Led him back to fires. Matriarch Prime waited, eyes on the new cord. Claws flexed. Right incoming. Lyra tensed beside him. Token dug deeper into fist. Kesh boiled fresh pot at fire edge. Poured for Evan. You see traps. We strike true. Pack strong. Evan sipped. Nodded. Peaks loomed darker. Raider drums echoed faint. Thousands marching. Sile signaled elders. Chants rose. Spears clashed. Welcome to war. Matriarch Prime stepped forward. Locked gaze on Evan. On Braids. Claws extended. Not attack. Ritual grip. Evan braced. Prime's claws closed on his cord. Tugged light. Inspected. Hissed long Mira rushed. She sees packed chain. Tests if human claims tried his horde. Evan held still. Offered open palm. Lyra's token gleamed there. Prime clicked approval. Released. Turned to Sao. Orders barked. War prep surged. Women sharpened blades. Kesh checked Evan's rifle. Charge full? Full. Evan racked slide. Lyra leaned in. Head on shoulder again. Claws idle on his arm. Drawing water cache victory in dust. No words needed. Drums grew. Horizon flickered. Raider torches. Thousands. Sael pressed map hide into Evan's hands. Peaks marked. Choke points. Water veins. Trust line drawn to him. Evan studied. Spotted flaw raider pincer again but scaled. Redirect. Here. Pointed fork. Kesh grinned fangs. Human eyes. Prime watched. Nodded once. Alliance held. Barely. Mira pinged urgent. Their blood right targets Lyra hardest. Scouts say you're horde keeper now. One misstep. Torches crested ridge. Charge horns blared. Evan chambered round. Lyra stood tall beside Token, matched his braid. Raiders hit the outer fires. Blades clashed. Tribe met them. Spears versus bone plate. Evan fired first shot. Dropped lead charger clean. Kesh flanked. Spear thrusting. Sile roared center. Prime held high ground. Directing waves. Lyra loosed. Arrow. Hit. Throat. Evan covered her. Reload. Staggered. Good. Raiders pressed waterward again. Same trap hunger. Evan primed last flares. Cash hold. They surged. As wine. Pack, but rearguard screamed. Flanked. Raider elites cloaked. Silent. Slipped. Lines. Grabbed a young scout. Dragged toward peaks. Evan broke cover. Rifle up. Kesh flank. Kesh nodded. Split off. Lyra sprinted with Evan. Crawls out. Elite snarled at them. Hoisted scout-like prize. Blood-right blade raised. Evan fired noise crack. Elite flinched. Lyra leaped. Claws raking face. Scout dropped free. Evan tackled Elite. Pinned. Med strip ready? No, too late. Elite's kin closed. Prime bellowed from height. Entire line shifted toward them. Trap within trap. Raiders baited deep strike. Evan hauled scout up. Retreat. Stagger. Lyra guarded rear. Token flashed defiance. Kesh speared one kin. Pull back! They fell into tribe waves. Raiders overextended. Archers shredded them. Sahel reached Evan. Clutched scout safe. Eyes on him. New cord weight. Prime descended. Claws gripped Evan's braid direct, pulled close. Hiss deep. Mirror, you guard nest. Blood right denied. Join Prime? Evan blinked. Alliance or claim? Lyra stepped between, claws firm on Prime's arm. Token press. Mine. Prime laughed, hiss. Released. Drums faded, raiders routed. For now. Fires banked low. Tribe shared pot circle. Kesh poured. Thick stew into Evan's bowl. Steam rose sharp with spice. Sahel leaned forward across the fire, her claws clicking against stone. She held up Lyra's token, a carved clawbone etched with spirals. The tribe hushed. Lyra tensed, beside Evan. Her tail flicked once. Sail pressed the token into Lyra's palm. Return debt clear. Her hiss carried weight, eyes locked on Evan. She extended another token. Identical, but strung on fresh cord. Pushed it toward him. Claws hovered. Guard nest proved. Blood right denied. Choose bond. Mate. Kin. Thrall. Evan's grip tightened on the bowl. Mate. Thrall. Mira's voice crackled soft in his earpiece. Evan, that's ownership tiers. Highest first mate claims bloodline. Kin shares hunt. Thrall binds service she's testing public. Tribe eyes gleamed in firelight. Keish paused mid-pour. Muscles coiled. Lyra's claws dug into Evan's sleeve. He set the ball down. No panic. Routine misread, like a sprained ankle misdiagnosed as break. Not those. He raised hands, palms open. Recalled Mira's crash course from audio scraps. Packed symbols. Thumb to forefinger circle for equal. Crossed forearms for shared risk. He traced them slow in air. Alley. Sile's crest flared. Tribe murmured. She tilted head, claws retracting half. Alley, no cord in right. Evan nodded, pulled cord from his pack, the one he'd woven earlier with Lyra's help, beads matching theirs. Held it out. Shared rules. He tapped the circle symbol first. Equal say. Forearms cross. Shared fight. Palm flat over hard. No owns. He pressed cord into Sail's claws. Packed this. Mira whispered. Good pivot. Their audio shows Alley as loose hunt pair. Flexible. Rare for outsiders. Sci examined the cord. Sniffed it. Her laugh hiss rippled low. She looped it around her wrist, then tossed a matching one to Evan. Claws clicked his shoulder. Firm, not pull. Alley cord. Rules hold, break, hunt ends. Keish grunted approval, poured again. Tribe echoed the symbols, claws mimicking in fire glow. Lyra bumped Evan's arm. She grabbed his hand, repositioned fingers, not flat palm, curved claws in, like cradling egg. Safe, she hissed. Soft, eyes wide, insistent. Evan mirrored it. Felt the difference. Vulnerable hold, not shield. Safe. She nodded sharp. Stood, faced tribe. Repeated the gesture. High. Safe, he save. Hiss. Carried clear. Tribe stilled, then copied. Waves of curved hands rippled out. Sael rose crest high. Packed, sealed. Alley guides. Evan stood too. Bowl empty, energy steady. Extraction beacon. Safe lift. He pointed north, toward ridge. Ship comes. All board. Case-shouldered spear. Raider's shadow. Lead. Tribe moved like water. Silent pack. 30 strong. Evan took point with Lyra. She ghosted ahead, ears twitching. He checked compass implant. Beacon 2 clicks. Terrain rough, but he'd scouted dropship path yesterday. Night deepened. Stars pierced canopy. Lyra signaled. Halt, tail slash. Low growl from brush. Evan dropped prone. Rifle scope up. 2 raiders, cloaked in leaf weave. Scouting. Cache flank silent. Evan noise cracked once. Flashbang pop. Raiders flinched. Lyra's arrow whispered. 1 down. Cache speared second. Clear, Evan said. Tribe flowed past. Mira's voice. Audio spike. Sael's group chatter. They're impressed. Soft skin holds line. Keep steady. Half click later, Ridgecrest. Beacon pulse blue, hologrid marking LZ. Dropship rumble grew distant thunder. Sael halted tribe. Claws on Evan's arm. Alley lift. All? Evan nodded. Pulled comm unit from vest, handheld brick with hollow mic. Talk here. Activated translate matrix. Dr. Patel, xenolinguist. Human med team. Sael snatched it. Eyed the glow. Hiss tested. Sail. Nest prime. Ally packed. Raiders hunt. Lift fight? Mira's voice boomed clear. Matrix weaving hiss to English seamless. Matriarch Sael confirmed. Ship ETA-5. Armament full. Raiders routed or engaged. Sail's crest. Spiked joy. Tribe chittered. She thrust calm back to Evan. Claws gripped his cord. Test tug. Alley rules hold. Ship nest. Evan synced beacon to come. Shared. He flashed the equal symbol. Lyra pressed beside him. Curved, safe gesture on his wrist. Her warmth lingered. Dropship roared over ridge. Vents flared hot. Ramp dropped. Human Marines waved. Rifles ready. Cache boarded first. Spear vertical. Tribe filed in disciplined. No chaos. Sael paused at ramp. Turned to Evan. Packed north. Raiders wait. Evan shouldered gear. North. Together. She hissed. Laugh. Boarded. Lyra lingered last. Claws brushed his hand. Curved hold. Safe. Ramp wind up. Ship lifted smooth. Evan strapped in. Tribe arrayed opposite. Marines eyed the claws, but held fire discipline. Mira patched through. Evan, vitals good. Language matrix at 60%. Zal's testing you. Pushed Thrall first to gauge weakness. You flipped it. He glanced at Sael. She traced packed symbols on her cord. Eyes on him steady. Cache leaned across aisle. Soft skin track good. Beacon hunt. Evan nodded. Plotted raider camps. Strike dawn. Sail's voice cut matrix hiss. Ali dawn. Blood right theirs. Raider fires dotted horizon. Bait glow. Evan checked medkit. Restock strips. Routine. Lyra curled near, token glinting, her tail looped his boot-loose knot. Truss cord tightened, but horizon fires swelled. Prime Raider force massed, not routed. Ambush scale. Sael's claws flexed. Test packed. Evan primed rifle. Test passed. Dropship dove.